always like to ask people, did they ever have a pet at home that was passing away? And most people, interestingly, have. And the overwhelming majority of those pets don't sit by their food bowl and don't sit by their water bowl when they're in the process of their demise. Because eating and drinking at a time when your body is taking all of its energy just to survive becomes burdensome. Food sits in the tummy, and you'll hear a lot of dying people say, I ate breakfast, I just can't eat anymore. Well, that's because things just aren't moving very fast. They're just sitting there. The second thing is, and this is, to me, summarizes it all, if you're trying to eat and you're dying, wood's going to the factory, and no one's making furniture. So again, you are creating a toxic circumstance in the body whereby food is not being processed and used. So that's the kind of quaint physiologic part of it. But when it comes down to the human part of it, we are all very tuned in to the fact that food is love. And that if we could only get the person to eat, they would be better. It's a very lovely sentiment, but the problem is for someone with advanced dementia who has chronic obstructive lung disease and heart disease, food isn't what's wrong, so food isn't what's going to fix it. Okay? Particularly dementia. And in advanced dementia, typically the person does, towards the end, lose their ability to walk, lose their ability to communicate, and finally actually stop eating or lose their ability to swallow. When I say they lose their ability to swallow, it can be that they simply can't do the muscular action. But sometimes it's because the muscular action is so dysynchronous. It is so far gone that the body can no longer govern the normal act of deglutition. That is, a substance in the mouth, it is propelled in the right direction under the right circumstances, hits the gullet, if you will, goes down the right pipe, not the wrong pipe, and into our tummy. And this becomes very desynchronous and disorganized. In advanced dementia, most people really do stop eating as well as they know things are going down the wrong pipe. Okay, when I say they know intuitively. Now, what does the data suggest about dementia and tube feeding? First of all, as you tube feed somebody, you're certainly not going to fix the dementia. So right off the bat, the burden and benefit are suddenly skewed away from the benefit. The second part of that is, does it add to anything else that could make the patient sicker? And the reality is that feeding with a tube, even directly into the tummy, doesn't stop aspiration. When food's not moving down, it's going to move up. So you're still going to have aspiration. The third thing is a principle in medicine that most first-year med students figure out. Fluid in, fluid out. You now take a person who is demented, can't walk, can't communicate, start a feeding tube, and now they have diarrhea, and they can't communicate and can't walk. So you add some very, very strong sense of loss of dignity. No person would want to be trapped in that situation. And of course, the fourth thing is the simple hygiene of it. No matter where you could be at the best nursing home and even the best hospital, and there's just no way of predicting when soilage might occur and how sick that person might get as the result of it. I think it's very important here to consider and think about the spiritual or religious aspects of this, as there has been a lot of clamor that perhaps it is euthanasia or in some way unethical. Speaking for most of the major religions, that is for Hebrew religion, Christian religions, Catholic religions, Protestant religions, the general feeling is that when the burden exceeds the benefit, it is appropriate to withhold. That is not euthanasia. Euthanasia is the active addition of or causation of demise. At the same time, this person, if they can't swallow or they're aspirating and they want to eat, they should be allowed to eat. One of the things to me that is the most heartbreaking is a person with dementia who's aspirating, whose family is misguided, they put the PEG tube in, and the patient is not allowed to eat because the nursing home says they have aspiration, we're feeding them via feeding tube. Now the person who wants one bite of homemade pot pie cannot have it. And that, to me, is the great disgrace.